I'm Roxana from the blog acquaintlife.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect pie crust with just 2 ingredients. This pie crust is super simple to make. All you need to make any pie crust is a fat, flour, and some cold water. I put 2 ingredients because really the fat and the flour are what you're going to need, and everybody has water in the house. So we will need just a couple of tablespoons of that. Make sure when you use your water, it's a cold water. I like to use lard or tallow for my pie crust, but butter is a great alternative, and it's something that most of us keep in the house regularly. So that's what we're going to be using today. We're going to be using all-purpose flour for this. I have my sticks of butter here that I'm going to cube up before we get started. I'm also going to be using my food processor. And if you don't have a food processor, I highly recommend getting one, especially if you're learning to cook from scratch. It's super helpful in the kitchen, and it's actually one of my favorite kitchen appliances. You'll see how quickly this pie crust comes together using it, but if you don't have a food processor, you can of course use your hands to make your dough, or even a fork. This recipe is great for sweet and savory pies and makes 2 pie crusts. So you could do 2 pumpkin pies with this one recipe, or you can make a complete chicken pot pie with the top crust and the bottom crust with what we're going to be making today. First things first, let's get our butter prepared. I have 1 cup of chilled salted butter. I'm going to cut this up into cubes. We're going to start with 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. Then our chilled cubed salted butter. Place the lid on, remove the pour cap spout, and I'm going to switch my food processor on and add about 3 to 5 tablespoons of the cold water, and I'm going to let it run just until the dough comes together. So I am going to show you a little trick as well to roll out your pie crust. If you don't know this trick, you might already know it, but I think it's just genius. You can flour a surface if you don't have parchment paper, and of course roll it out. Remember that we have a lot of butter in this pie crust, so you want to make sure that your surface is nice and floured, as well as your rolling pin when you are rolling it out. But what I'm going to do today is use some parchment paper. So what this parchment paper is going to do is it is going to provide a non-stick surface to roll my dough out, but at the same time it helps when I transfer the dough onto my baking dish. It makes it a lot easier to transfer. So I'm going to show you that here next in the video. Now all that's left to do is to shape our pie crust and get it filled. Now that's trimmed, you can either use this technique I'm going to show you right here to sort of make your ends look a little bit frilly, or you could just use a fork and smash the sides along. Today I want to also show you the pinch method, which I was always taught to do. And you'll just take your 2 fingers and an index and pinch along the sides just like that to create that really cute ribbon around the pie crust. All right guys, so that is it for this recipe of a buttery pie crust. And again, this makes 2 pie crusts, so you could do 2 pumpkin pies with this or an apple pie with the topping. I'm actually going to use mine for a chicken pot pie that I'm making for dinner, so it's perfect that I already got it done here. I hope that you enjoy these Thanksgiving recipes and holiday recipes that I am going to be putting out in the next couple of weeks. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.